seatbelt.
I'm
opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening
off
the door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so now the chief of police is also stating that he's going to get internal affairs into this to do their homework. And it looks like these police officers are going to have to be suspended for a little while until the investigation is done.
After celebrating his big win in Omaha, Terence Crawford was pulled over by Omaha police. First of all, Terence Crawford returned to his hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, proudly showing off his belt during a victory parade. The streets were filled with fans chanting his name, Crawford, 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 as the city came together to celebrate their champion. It was a moment of pure love and pride between Crawford and Omaha. At Crawford's parade, Shaq delivered a heartfelt message saying there's no time for losers because Crawford is the true champion of the world. He congratulated him, emphasized that he deserves all the success, and even added that he loves seeing this moment. Shaq's words highlighted both respect and admiration for Crawford's achievement. As a tribute to his historic win, Crawford was honored in his hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, with the key to the city and a special championship belt. It was a proud moment shared with the community that has supported him from the very beginning. More than just a boxing star, Crawford is celebrated as a symbol of pride for Nebraska. His story continues to inspire fans not only at home, but around the world.
Now, in recognition of Bud being the three-time world champion, the city of Omaha has a special belt to commemorate that.
At the same time, Crawford reflected on how he's carried Omaha on his back since his early days, starting with fights at the Quest Center in 2006. He explained that as a pro, stepping into the ring means representing both his city and his state with pride. Just like people from New York, Texas, or Chicago proudly rep where they're from, Crawford said he takes the same pride in Omaha, and he loves how his hometown continues to support him.
It means everything, you know, because me putting Omaha on my back since I was a kid, you know, fighting at the Quest Center in 2006, and everybody coming out to support me as a kid, you know, and me taking that in the ring as a professional, and every fight that I fought in, I'm repping my city and my state, Omaha, because when you look at all these other states and stuff like that, they say, oh, well, I'm from New York, or I'm from Texas, I'm from Chicago, I'm from Omaha, you know, so I'm gonna rep my city just like everybody around the world rep their city. So You know, I love that Omaha is supporting me.
However, Crawford emphasized that preparation and hard work are key to success. He believed talent alone isn't enough. Someone who works harder can surpass natural ability. At the top level, he knows everyone is trying to beat him, so staying disciplined, composed, and trusting his team during training and fights is essential. His coach reminded him to stay focused and not let emotions take over, which helps him perform at his best.
You know, if you prepare to the best of your abilities, you know, great things is gonna come from that. You know, I always say hard work beat talent when talent don't work hard. So if you talented, you know, without the work ethic, you know, somebody can outwork you that want it more. You know, so you gotta have everything all in sync. You know, you gotta work hard, especially when you're at the top, because everybody gunning from you. Everybody working extremely hard to dethrone you. You know, and in camp, Bo Magnum just basically was just telling me stay disciplined. You know, stay disciplined, because knowing me, I'm a fighter. You know, I like to fight, so sometimes I get hit. You know, I'll be like, oh, I need to get that back. Let's go. You know, so it's all about staying disciplined, stay composed, and listen to your team and having faith in it.
Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson praised Bud Crawford for teaching him the value of integrity, showing that character is more important than money or fame. He highlighted the role of Crawford's family, coaches, and support system in shaping him into a strong and genuine person. Stevenson expressed gratitude for Crawford's influence and celebrated both him and their shared hometown of Omaha.
I came up here, I'm kind of nervous to be talking in front of the public, but I'm gonna be short. But I just want to speak about something that I feel like Bud kind of taught me, and I feel as though it's gonna take me farther in life, and I feel like for the next generation and the kids that's coming up behind us to understand. It's one word that I've been thinking about when I wanted to speak about Bud. It's integrity. I feel like integrity is a strong word, and I feel like it's bigger than money, it's bigger than fame, and I feel like Bud Crawford taught me integrity, and it's gonna last forever. So shout out to Bud, shout out to his family. I feel like his family did a great job with him. His coaches did a great job, and everybody surrounding him and supporting him made him into this genuine, strong human being. And I appreciate him for everything that he done for me. So shout out to Bud Crawford, shout out to Omaha, Nebraska. And it's all love.
After his hometown parade, Crawford was reportedly mistakenly held at gunpoint by Omaha police. The incident shocked the community, and the mayor confirmed that the police are now under investigation for how it was handled.
Seatbelt. I'm
opening
the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening
off
the door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Explaining this situation, Blue Sport TV said that Omaha's mayor got involved after Crawford's parade because of the police incident, emphasizing his support for Crawford and the city. The report noted that the police chief has launched an internal investigation, and the officers involved may face temporary suspension while the matter is reviewed. The focus is on addressing the situation properly and protecting the community's trust.
Again, so now the mayor got involved because the mayor obviously was at the parade, and the mayor supports Terence Crawford and what Terence Crawford does for the community and for the city of Omaha, Nebraska. And they don't want this negative press on him. They just don't want that. And so now the chief of police is also stating that he's going to get internal affairs into this to do their homework. And it looks like these police officers are going to have to be suspended for a little while until the investigation is done.
Furthermore, Blue Blood addressed the police officers' actions, noting that they might face temporary suspension while the investigation is ongoing. He emphasized the seriousness of the situation, highlighting that incidents like this occur far too often in Black communities. The statement calls for accountability and stresses that proper consequences should follow to prevent such misconduct in the future.
And they're saying that I believe that there is a possibility that these officers could be suspended while this is being investigated. So hopefully this is resolved quickly. And something needs to come of this, because this is nasty work, bro. We go through this all too much in the black community. All too much.
On the other hand, according to Coach Bomack about Crawford's career, he said Crawford still has a few fights left in his career, but he will need to train intensely to maintain his edge. He also indicated that moving up to 160 pounds could be a good opportunity for Crawford to challenge himself and potentially achieve the milestone of winning titles in 5 different weight divisions.
Well, you know what? He made it look so easy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Train camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
They make up 5 weight divisions. There's not many people that.
That'd be great.
Oscar and Manny.
That'd be great.
According to trainer Ronnie Shields, he advised that Crawford should drop down to 160 pounds instead of staying at 168. At middleweight, he could earn another major achievement, while at 168, the younger, bigger fighters might be too strong and quick. Shields believes it's smarter to choose the right weight class for long-term success.
If I'm Terence Crawford, I give up the belt, I go down to 160. Another milestone waits for him there. He's great. He's going to be great at 160. 68, leave all other guys alone. They're too young, they're too fast, they're too strong. You know, he's good. He's good, and not to say that he can't hang with those guys, but in boxing, you have to be smarter than the next person. So go back down, go down to 160, leave 154 alone, go to 160, win that, create another milestone in your career, and then say adios amigos.
I can see that happening.
Similarly, Dave Coldwell praised Terence Crawford's career, saying that even if he retired now, his achievements, multiple undisputed championships across different weight classes, and a win over Canelo Alvarez would place him in conversations about the greatest fighters ever. Coldwell acknowledged that Crawford could continue fighting, possibly moving to a middleweight fight with Yanbek, but personally feels it might be better for him to retire at the top of his career.
If Crawford was to retire now, what a resume that is. He could, whether you believe he's the greatest or not, he is in that argument where people around a table in a pub sat you know, amongst themselves on WhatsApp groups, you're arguing about who the greatest fighter is that there's ever been. His name would be in that mix if he was to retire now. You know, three-time undisputed champion, 3-weight undisputed champion. This little guy that's come up, gone all the way through, and then beaten Canelo Alvarez, jumping up a couple of divisions. You know, I think that would be unbelievable. If he does choose to carry on, then I think your shout's the best middleweight. If he was to go down and take on Yanbek, oof.
Likewise, Calvin Ford discussed Bud's next steps in boxing, noting that he performed excellently in his last fight. He's considering whether Bud should continue at his current weight or move to 160 pounds for bigger opportunities, like a middleweight tournament or another major fight. Fans and analysts see potential for another mega fight, but it depends on his next move.
Man, great. Bud always been like that. Without a question, solid. You know what I'm saying?
You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight 160.
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. Hey, Walaikum Salam. He looked at excellent.
Is there anybody the most from
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights to undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jerron Ennis going to 160, possibly Jerron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying, and the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
Moreover, Robert Garcia believed Crawford had just achieved the biggest win of his career, one of the most significant in boxing history. He cautions that Crawford doesn't need to take unnecessary risks now, warning against ending his career with a bad or ill-advised fight. Garcia emphasized that Crawford should protect his legacy rather than jeopardize it.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't, you know, don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Similarly, after Crawford's dominant win against Canelo, Floyd Schofield was surprised by Crawford's performance because he expected Canelo to win. He was emotionally affected since he's been a long-time Canelo fan. He thinks Canelo just didn't have his best night, but he fully respects Crawford, calling him one of the greatest of this era. He was impressed that Crawford stayed fast, skilled, and consistent throughout the fight, showing that being bigger doesn't guarantee victory.
It was very wrong. It was very, very wrong. I had Canelo just domination. I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie, because I've been a fan of Canelo since I was a kid. So my heart, a tear almost came on my eye. I ain't gonna lie, because it felt like, you know, that Canelo's done. But I just think he was a little off that night. I think he can, you know, make a big comeback. But to Crawford, man, he's the greatest of this era. You got to give it to him. Greatest of this era. Nobody's ever done that before, 3-time undisputed. So you got to take your hats off to Crawford. And I was just shocked that he was able to just dismantle Canelo like that, you know, even with the size difference. That just goes to show size doesn't win fights. I was actually very surprised because usually, like, when you go up in weight like that, you tend to get slower. And like you said, in the later rounds, you tend to slow down. But it's like he kept that same pace the whole fight. And I was kind of shocked. I was, man, when it got to the 10th round, 11th round, I was like, ain't no way that Crawford is doing this. But he did it. I was shocked. I took my hats off to Crawford. Even my...
Chet Belt, Crawford's strength coach, was very excited after the fight. He said Crawford clearly dominated Canelo and praised the amazing energy at Allegiant Stadium with nearly 70,000 fans. Belt called Crawford's performance impressive and sees it as opening big opportunities for his future fights.
Biggest crowd at Allegiant Stadium, damn near 70,000. Energy level like nothing I've ever been a part of or seen in person. You were in the building, you knew it was special. And that boy was whooping feet. Whooping feet. Beautiful. Beautiful. The event, man, that boy good.
Fight on personal impact, Rolly Romero said. He was deeply impressed by Crawford's performance. It went beyond boxing. Watching Crawford inspired him to think about his own life and gave him a fresh perspective on personal matters. The fight motivated him in ways outside the sport.
You know, Terence made me, that performance did something really special for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, and a lot more special than what probably anyone else is probably thinking, honestly.
How so?
Just opened my eyes to, and it's not even boxing related. This has nothing to do with even boxing. This has nothing to even do with boxing. It's just he opened my eyes to something bigger in my own personal life that's going on right now.
Furthermore, Romero said he was surprised by how Crawford was dominant. He admitted that Canelo performed well up to round 4, but after that, Crawford completely controlled the fight. In the later rounds, Crawford's dominance was clear and undeniable.
Oh yeah?
I didn't expect Crawford to be that big, but Canelo did good the first few rounds, you know, first like all the way up like to round 4, and then that's when Crawford took over, you know. So I mean, in the second half of the fight, though, it was all Crawford. There was no question about it.
Crawford trainer Brian Bomick McIntyre unfolded fight night. He explained that their fight plan worked exactly as intended. Canelo came forward, threw big punches, and tried to fight inside, but Crawford was fully prepared. McIntyre felt nervous watching live, but later reviewing the fight showed that Crawford followed the strategy perfectly, which made his performance look effortless and dominant.
As much as one can.
It would 100% how we thought it was going to go.
Did it?
It was 100%. Him stepping forward, him throwing the wide shots, him moving his head, you know, him trying to fight on the inside. It went just like how we wanted it to go. That's what performance you guys got from Terence. So, like in the corner, going through the fight, you just like, oh, kind of like tensed up a little bit, you know, is he doing this, is he doing that right? You know, but after the fight was over with, and then you sit back and you watch the fight. Yes, it was easy. It was easy. It don't seem like it when you in the corner and you looking. Sometimes you can't see the camera guy right here.
After the fight with Canelo, Crawford explained that his counter looked clean, but Canelo's defense made the difference. By rolling with the punch and anticipating the follow-up, Canelo lessened the damage and showed his high ring IQ. Crawford credited that awareness as proof of Canelo's greatness in the moment.
That's a counter. It was a great counter, but at the same time, Canelo being great as he is, he was actually rolling with the shot and anticipating me coming back with a right hook. When you see him roll and then kind of roll the other way, he was anticipating me throwing another shot. It was a great shot, but it was great awareness by Canelo as well.
Similarly, after winning, Crawford said he was completely locked into the moment. He explained that, although there were a few surprises, he understood everything as it unfolded. In the ring, time seemed to slow down for him, allowing him to process and react with clarity.
So I understood everything that was going on. You know, there was some surprises, I can say that, but, you know, me being in that moment and knowing everything that was going on when it was happening, it was like everything just slowed down to me at that moment.
Crawford thanked all his fans and supporters, saying he and his team accomplished exactly what they aimed for. He highlighted that they made history with their performance and expressed gratitude and love for everyone who supported him along the way.
All right, you shook up the boxing world.
Yes, sir.
Compa. You shook up the boxing the boxing world. What you gotta say to the fans, everybody who supported you?
And I appreciate all the fans that support me and my team. You know what I mean? We did what we set our sights out to do. You know, we made history. And you know, Team Crawford, love each and every one of you.
Compa.
Terence Crawford's homecoming in Omaha showed just how much love his city has for him, but the shocking police incident reminded everyone how quickly things can change. Still, Crawford remains focused, proud of his roots, and motivated to keep inspiring fans. With talks of moving up to 160 pounds, facing names like Jaron Ennis or Virgil Ortiz, or even walking away on top, his journey is far from over. What happens next? Whether another mega fight or retirement could define the final chapter of his legendary career. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates.